What's going on, y'all? You know who I am, J.H. Gibbons,
And as we'll see,
and we got to welcome you to yet another one.
another one.
The Achromous podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are. Another beautiful Sunday. Look at that hat. I mean, good God. Isn't that the most beautiful hat you've ever seen? Huh?
Right.
Achromous Fitness, man. That's where it is. That's where it's at. Representing the brand, representing the company. And we love to represent all of you out there. We thank you
Absolutely.
once again for joining us. It's yet been another busy week. It's been a crazy week. If you remember last week, man, last Sunday, we talked about the birthday festivities.
Yes.
Boy, oh boy, let me tell you, while I know I have fun, I cannot really remember all the fun I had.
Yeah, likewise. It is a bit of a blur at certain points.
Yeah.
But we assure you, every second was accounted for, was enjoyed thoroughly. I am thankful for it. While I can't remember all of it, I appreciate every moment. It
Yeah,
was
I mean,
memorable for sure.
shout out to Vacasa. They're the ones that helped us out with the Airbnb. Man, what a beautiful place out there in Delaware.
Mhm.
It was a wonderful road trip full of music, laughter, excitement, great food when we got there. It was amazing, man. It was truly beautiful. Shout out to all of the fam that was with us on the trip, man.
Mhm.
It was such a beautiful family gathering. It was a great moment, full of great moments. Um, and yeah, man, I can't wait to do this all again. Whose birthday's next? I need to find out so I could just put it on my calendar and just go to every single birthday party there is because this that was
Yeah.
amazing. It feels fun, especially because of all the things that we were going through, y'all, with COVID, with social distancing, and just all the heartache that happened last year. To be able to start getting back to where we were, start getting back to some type of normalcy is so much of a relief. And yeah, I mean that was such a very fun trip.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you anymore. It was a process, like for most people. It's just kind of coming down to the closure, or at least getting some sort of stability with COVID right now, from the looks of it, with all the vaccinations that's being given out. Is it felt like a good time of any to kind of step out into the world, right, and
Mhm.
just kind of to live a little bit. Me personally, it had been probably a couple of years since I actually stepped out to kind of do something, let alone and really enjoy myself, especially on an occasion that was about me, appreciation of myself, and having a lot of loved ones, and sure there were definitely a lot more who would have loved to come. That the love was felt, reciprocated, so much appreciated, and I'm just thankful for everyone that reached out. A lot of you that reached out there personally. Again, thank you. If I haven't had a chance to thank you personally on it, I really appreciate every second of it. And thank you for just acknowledging me and letting me know I matter to you. So,
It was definitely a special weekend. It's a special set of days leading up to it. And even when we were out there, we got a great, wonderful announcement to allow us to produce more content and promote it in a way that people not just here, around the world, different age groups, different interests can now enjoy our episodes for free. Of course, we don't charge for these things, but I want to give a special shout out to our now radio partner, WRNG FM Hot Radio. Now, the person who is in charge of this radio station, he's been in business for himself for the past 40 years, DJing some of the best and latest and greatest in Caribbean music, your soca, your reggae, your calypso, all that stuff. And I've known this man for about 30 years now. The only reason that is because he is my father. But I do want to give a special shout out to him, special shout out to WRNG Radio. It is yet another blessing that we has been bestowed upon us, and every single Monday at 2 p.m. you'll be able to hear us there, as you hear us on YouTube, as you hear us if you heard us on Instagram, as you see us and hear us on Facebook. This is yet another way to hear us and see us. So once again, we are proud of this partnership.
Absolutely.
We are moving and growing quickly, and glory to God, because this is truly amazing, and we are forever thankful for that opportunity.
Absolutely. It's a blessing to progress in the way that we are, and it's really taking us taking you know massive action to get to this point and to continue to push forward in that regard, which is primarily what our episode this week is going to be about, as we're going to discuss in detail. So there's stepping stones in anything that we do, as we discuss and we've have talked about before. So it's really imperative to understand the importance of being able to set a plan in motion, have that course of action ready for you, and then to deliver. But it does start with yourself. So those are some of the things that we're going to really delve deep into today about um, what our experiences has been in those realms, and hopefully provide some basic tips to share with you of certain tactics that you may decide to employ to kind of help you get the breakthrough that you need as well.
Absolutely. And right before we jump into this, I do want to see a show of hands, as though I can actually see your hands. But raise your hand if you've been on YouTube and you've seen one of those ads where just a random guy just pops out of nowhere. How do you want to reach six figures in 5 days? Come on, I'll show you how. And then they
Me?
take you on this magical, yeah, they take you on this magical yacht that just came out of nowhere. Or you get to tour a house in Beverly Hills somewhere, and it's a mansion, and the person who's holding the camera somehow edges the camera a bit so you could see the seven Lambos in his garage, but he doesn't mean to show it to you. It just accidentally popped up on camera because, oh, sorry, I'm in my garage here
Whoops.
with my seven Lambos and my three Porsches. My bad. Let me show you how to get exactly what I have. And it never actually works. I For the life of me, I'm so sick of that. And I know us being in this same sort of space as them, it's a little hairy because even though we're in the same space, we're delivering different content. Their content, they're selling a lifestyle. And in case you don't understand that or you don't see it, you can pick it out quickly, right? There is this sales funnel that they take you through, and at the bottom of that sales funnel, calls, it's where that massive call of action for you to be able to learn the secrets of building success and being the most successful person you've ever been. All you have to pay is about $7.99 or close to $1,000, and
Just
whammo.
that.
That's
Just
all.
that.
That's
That's it.
all.
Not
Dig in
much,
your
guys.
pockets. Dig in your pockets, especially those who are going through a tough financial time because of what COVID has done.
Hmm.
Get that stimmy out. Get that stimmy out. Put that stimmy on that $7.99 package, and your life will change forever. You'll go from being in your mother's basement to being in a mansion in about 3 years, guaranteed. If you just buy that $7.99 package, and if it doesn't work, it's because it's your fault. You need to learn how to learn more. You need to learn how to take action more. You need to learn how to listen to these guys. And maybe you're just not special enough to do it. I don't know. But this is what they sell you. And
Hmm.
I'm sick of it. I know you're sick of it. We'll see. I know everybody out there is sick of it. And you're probably asking, is all of this BS? Does any of this actually work? Is there something out there that can get me to where I need to go? The answer to that question is yes, but it is also hard, right? It's not as easy as these people make it to be. It's not as easy as it seems. It does not happen overnight. A lot of the people that you see that have achieved the success that you're aiming for have been doing it for years and years behind the scenes. You're only able to see the success that they have, but you haven't seen the failures. You haven't seen the amount of times they've gone broke to get to where they are. You haven't seen the trials and tribulations. And quite frankly, your life is probably different than theirs. They may have been set up better than you, or vice versa. You may have been set up better than them, but they have continued and continued to stay productive. They have continued to stay consistent. They have continued to build healthy habits. And eventually it paid off. And that right there is the guarantee that at some point, on some day, it's going to pay off. You may not know when. You may not know when. I know it's not going to be tomorrow. It's probably not going to be next month. But as long as you stay consistent, you keep building, you keep staying productive, you keep building healthy habits, you will get there.
Yep. I agree with you completely, Jay. I, you know, beyond the consistency of what a lot of these folks have in common, what I've come to realize is that, and just in experience as well, you have to truly have a sense of purpose. You have to know what your purpose is. What's the driving factor behind you getting up, pushing yourself harder than you've ever done in your life? Even the moments for me that matter the most, where the purpose come into play, are the moments when you're just dead tired, you just beat, you've had a long day, and you're running off of 2 hours of sleep, and maybe like your third energy drink or your second shot of espresso, whatever works for you, but something that's keeping you going, right? Purpose. So, for example, for myself, just this week alone, it's been a pretty hellacious week personally, where I've gotten, I would say I'm going through a bit of a sleep deprivation. Like I'm not getting much rest, but that is more so because not that I don't I'm choosing really not to, but because I'm really investing into myself,
Mm.
because I'm putting a lot of time into growth for me. And I'm
Mm.
not saying that's the most healthiest thing to do. Let me be clear about that.
How
But
many hours of sleep do you get a night, just on average?
on average, I can typically range maybe between 5, 6 hours of sleep, and I can function pretty well. But there are sometimes there was like one day, that I had to just kind of shut myself off from society and just say, "Hey, we'll recharge a bit." And that's what I did, and I did wake up feeling more rejuvenated and ready to kind of let my juices flow, so to speak,
Mm.
and that helped tremendously. So I
Yeah.
think in those moments, it's healthy to make sure you do that, but I think when you hold tight to your purpose, and it really draws forth that innovation to just be great, and you're so eager to get to there that you're going to take the steps necessary. So for example, with me, there are certain things of like personal goals that I have set for myself that I'm venturing into, where I want to be able to speak multiple languages. So I'm investing time into you know going through the process to try to do that, and it hasn't been an easy one for me. And
Mm.
of course, when you face these sort of adversities where you just step outside of a bit of your comfort, I personally think those are the moments where you shine best, where that purpose of what you were holding on to comes out because you really want it. So I'm embracing the fear aspect of like, oh, I sound silly. I don't really, I feel uncomfortable because I don't know if I'm doing this the best and the most efficient way, but I am applying myself and being willing to engage, an area of uncomfortability. So, um, I really just think you hold on tight to those things and you just apply yourself. And even in areas such as like, real estate, or like, just the stocks, and just trying to like educate myself to learn areas that I want to invest into myself, because
Yeah.
that's really what it is at all times. And in any avenue that you see with these individuals out there who you would deem to, you were viewed to be a successful person, outside of just their purpose, they believe in themselves. So they are constantly investing into who they are.
Mm.
They're, just taking resources and knowledge and just putting it into their bank of, self worth, self love, all these areas that just showcase throughout to everyone else to see them. So, uh, I believe anyone can do that as long as you hold true and you know what your purpose is. Because if you don't really have that, any plan that you put into place that you say you want to do, it's going to fall through. It's not going to hold substance because you don't have a solid foundation to get you through, especially when adversity comes, because it will. Like any other thing in life, is gonna hit you. So when those moments happen, how do you break through? What are the tools you've created for yourself and methods you set into place,
Mm.
contingency plans in the event things don't go the way that you expect them to go,
Mm.
and that's not going to always pan out the way you think it will. But what happens when your patience is wearing thin, right? Like, so everyone looks to get to that point where, like in those with those gurus, um see where I'm at now. Like life is so great. Oh, this is the best thing ever. But no one ever shows you the trials and tribulations it takes to get to that journey.
because
No
it's
one
just
shows you, right? They don't
yeah. I
show you
mean,
those
it's
things.
not sexy. It's not something that
Mm-mm.
people will gravitate towards. Is they'll see it and they're like, well, I have to work hard. Well, the answer is yes, you do. You do have to work hard. You have to put the work in to get what you deserve, to get what you've earned. That's just what everybody has always had to do throughout time. Now, there have been people who have been more fortunate financially to have a stepping stone that they can stand on and hop up, and their elevation is a little bit higher than yours. But to keep that, to stay there, they still have to grind. You still have to work. People can blow money. People blow money all the time. Look how many athletes go broke after leaving their respective sports, regardless how long they've been playing. They don't have that type of foundation, where they understand exactly where they're going. They don't know what their purpose is after sports. I mean, just imagine you playing sports from the age of 5 until you're about 40. The same sport, you've excelled on so many different levels, and then your body just it gives out on you. Body ages. Even if your mind is still wanting to play, you just can't move the way you do. Your value in that sport goes down, and then you're left trying to pick up the pieces of a life that surrounded just that particular sport.
Mhm.
So it is important to understand what your purpose is. It's important to always be prepared. And I think when it comes to taking massive action, it does take having a definite goal, a complete goal that you can follow, so that you understand exactly where you're going. And when I say definite complete goal, anybody could say, well, I want to lose 50 pounds, or I want to buy a car. But I mean, those are just statements. Those are just ideas. They don't mean anything unless you put meaning towards it. Until you add that particular purpose, until you break down that particular goal. Let's say you do want to lose weight. What's your goal? What's your goal weight that you want to be at? When do you want to lose all of this weight? By what day? Put the day down, the exact day, the month, the year, the hour, if you will, so that you know exactly where you're going, and you can work backwards to understand how you can achieve that goal. Now, it's not to say that if you get to that point, you're a failure if you don't hit that goal. It just means that you just have to work harder to get there. But the point is to take massive action, to take a step in the direction of being uncomfortable, knowing that through that you will achieve growth, you will achieve a new purpose, you will find that purpose, and then that purpose will lead you on to doing bigger and better things. If you think of all the entrepreneurs out there that have come, and are still around, your Elon Musk, your Mark Zuckerbergs, all of these guys, they have failed immensely repeatedly. They failed over and over again, but you never hear those stories. You only hear about the Facebooks, you only hear about the Teslas. But I mean, even now, if you pay attention to Elon Musk, you'll see all the different rockets that are exploding. Right, there have been so many rockets that have
Yeah,
exploded before takeoff. And
yeah,
the beautiful thing is, you see consistency through his failure. Through his failure, you see the success, because the very first rocket he built didn't even take off, blew up before it took off. Right, the next one, it took off, but it blew up shortly after takeoff. The next one blew up a little further. The next one keeps going. It blows up a little bit further. One actually reaches to the end, and it comes back to land, blows up again. But you see, in each and every step he's taking, each and every failure, there is a success, because he's getting further than he did the last time. He's not taking the rocket ship blowing up as the end. This is only the beginning for him. He knows that the rocket's going to blow up. In fact, if it doesn't, he might feel like he's doing something wrong, or he isn't doing enough. He's taking massive action. He's spending a lot of this money on these experimental rockets in order for him to achieve this amazing goal of having flights in space. I mean, just imagine being able to fly across the world outside of the world. I mean, it's amazing to just think about.
yeah,
But again, that is an example of massive action. It's not just, I'm going to take an action and think about a rocket ship, and maybe 10 or 20 years from now, I'll test one rocket ship, it'll blow up, and then I'll go back to the drawing board and spend another 20. No, he's doing this I mean, if you watch him, you'll see like every other week or so, there's another rocket going up. You're like, this guy has
yeah,
endless rockets, but he understands that with massive action comes the possibility of massive failure over and over again until you achieve that ultimate complete goal that you're going for. And he's not going to stop, neither should you.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I would just say, accountability is a big part of that process. You have to be willing to be truthful with yourself, because that's going to really be a big part of owning it in a way where, your perception of, that journey is going to come into factor, when the success doesn't come in the manner that you think it shall. Like
Mhm.
Jay just said, I think a good way to kind of approach that and look at it to me would be along the lines to say, hey, you know what? I'm not taking a loss, as I like to say now in my personal life. I'm not taking a loss. I'm not losing at all. I'm learning. So in those instances where those rockets were going, each uh, rocket that was not successful in the in what the end goal was an opportunity of growth. That was a new method of learning and adapting to see, okay, let's weigh the pros and cons of this, and how can I accelerate this process to keep it moving forward. Again, massive action, consistency, accountability,
Mhm.
just being willing to ask yourself the tough questions and just address yourself in a way where put your pride and ego to the side in a way that you allow yourself to grow through those moments of learning. So you
Yep.
can only become a better version of yourself through trial and error.
Mhm.
So that is how I take it and see it from that perspective. And I guess share personal story or two about like how that looked for us, Jay. I think that would be a good thing for us to kind of talk about.
Yeah, man. I mean, look, I'll take all y'all back to college. Of course, I'm a Penn State grad rather. Um, and back when I was in school, the program that I was in, they made it mandatory. It was a graduation requirement actually that I had to get an internship before I left school. So this meant a lot because at the time I was striking out in terms of trying to find a place to get this in. And I mean, this is my junior year. The summer's coming up. So if I don't get it now, I might have to come back again during my senior year or something and try to find an internship somewhere. So I was like, that's not an option. I wrote down on my wall, and I don't even know if I still have the sheet of paper, but I think I have like an Instagram status or something from when I graduated, where there was a sheet of paper that I literally stamped or taped or glued whatever to the door of my closet. So I always have my closet door open. It was facing me, and I'm laying in bed. So every morning I wake up, I see that written down. I will graduate in the spring of 2014. I had that written down. So I'm like, this is my goal every single morning, every single time I feel lazy. I don't want to feel, I feel like going to class or I don't feel like going to the library to study. I'm reading that every single morning. Every single time I wake up, I can't miss it because it's right in my face. So that's what kept me going. But when I got to the point of where I was getting rejected, in terms of trying to find an internship to do, it was tough for me. I had to swallow a lot of pride and I got upset with myself. I got upset with others around me who were able to find a place, maybe because of somebody they knew or a company they worked for in the past, or some people even worked for their parents' company. And I had nothing, had no contacts anywhere. Um, True story. I mean, like I sat there and I was so frustrated. I was in tears. I'm like, am I really not going to graduate? Am I going to have to come back yet another semester? And just because I don't have this internship. And I remember somebody telling me the same stories like, yo, I've been here now. This is going on my second year and I can't graduate because I don't have that internship. And I was like, yo, this is a ridiculous thing. But I took massive action. I took a bet on myself and I had this beat up black Mercedes Benz. I know you all I know you know about it, we'll see. That's the
Yes.
classic 1990 190E model, I believe. It was boy, that was something else. But
Good times, man.
good
Good times.
times, man. And hey, God bless that car cuz that raggedy old thing got me from Pennsylvania to Maryland almost every weekend. And I needed it specifically for this purpose because what was going on, that was, this junior year was going to be my year, was going to be my summer. I had to find an internship. So I literally got a notebook together. I Googled every single general contracting company in Pennsylvania, in Maryland, in Virginia, in DC, and I called each and every one of them. That is no cap. When I say I called each and every one of them, I called each and every one of them. I'm talking at least 7 to 10 pages full back to back of companies, over 200, 300 different general contracting companies that I'm calling looking for a job. I'm sending them my resume. I'm talking to everyone at the front desk. I'm trying to get to the CEOs. I'm trying to get to the bosses. I'm trying to get to the people, the HR department that makes these decisions. I'm sending in my resume. I'm mailing my resume. And it even got to a point where I'm traveling back to Maryland from PA every single weekend. I'm coming home just for the sole purpose of walking in to some of these companies, sitting down and asking them if they're hiring, handing them my resume and telling them, call me back if there is ever an opening. I was knocking. I was so desperate. I took massive action. I stepped outside of my comfort zone because I did not used to be a people's person. I was really reticent. I was really to myself, but I knew I had to get out there to do something in order to fulfill this goal, to fulfill my destiny of graduating on time. People depended on it. I depended on it. I put everything on that. So by the grace of God, I was able to get help by some faculty member, just out the clear blue sky. So yeah, I got my son who works here, and he's also part of this general contracting firm. So I said, yes, I'll take it. I don't care. I don't care if they're looking to hire me permanently. I don't care if they like me or hate me. I want to work there. Give it to me. So, but again, by the grace of God, I was able to work at Whiting Turner for that summer. It was a great experience. It was a big learning experience for me because I've never held a job within my major like that, and it was tough. It was tough. The work dynamics were tough. It personally was not the best fit for me, but what I did, I learned a lot about myself. I learned that if I put my mind to something and I take massive action, I can achieve things I never thought I could, regardless of the time limits that are bestowed upon me, regardless of any sort of limitations that have been put in front of me, or I put in front of myself. I was able to achieve that goal. I graduated on time, and the rest is history. But I just have to say that taking massive action is the only reason why I'm not in school right now.
Absolutely. To kind of be on the outskirts just with you through that process. Like I totally recall the journey with
Yeah,
you, man. I
that,
know
you
it
were
was,
there
it
the
was a
whole time.
process, man. Couldn't have been more proud of you for
I
for
appreciate that.
staying the course and just pulling through and just digging deep
I
and
appreciate
just
that.
growing through it because there was definitely growing pains.
There
And
was. Yep.
definitely tough times, and
Hmm.
you persevered, and you did take massive action to get to where you needed to be,
Yep.
and every second was well earned. And as we can see, it comes full circle where you're able to share that with everyone else and kind of let
Yep.
them know that the importance of that. Um,
Yep.
there's let's be clear here, everyone. When we're saying to take massive action, that is for any aspect that you're going through in your life. This
Absolutely.
is not particularly for one area, because this is just a matter of accomplishing goals, or things in your life that you want to fulfill, these aspirations that you hold yourself accountable to. It's really big to understand that. It's extremely important. Which for me, and I share this constantly, because this is truly a lifestyle for me now, where is the aspect of fitness is huge, right?
Yep.
Point taken.
There it
Part of
is.
what we have and things that we have in the play that they'll be coming to you really soon.
Yeah.
Um, but for the most part, with me, a massive action I had to take was, of course, changing just completely my life. You know, um, to some, it is definitely no secret about certain aspects of my life, and to others, it's new. But all in all, I was going through a really tough time the last couple of years. That was just really rough. I went through um, a divorce, and through that process of how things transpired, it was definitely rocky for me. Where it definitely was just not only the physical aspect, but there was the mental part of it where I realized I got to a place that I just wasn't happy, and I needed to set goals for myself to grow in a lot of ways. I knew that that would require work to be done inward. And in order for that to be done, I had to begin to create affirmations for myself. I had to really put the work into realizing where I was, assess my mental health, because that's very important to do. It's very important to know. And I had to assess physically where I was, and understanding like that all of that is like a trifecta of, you and how you feel about you. Oh man, that was really a process for me because for me, I have always been the type of person where I guess I'll say I've endured. So I would just adapt and I'll go with the flow. But because I didn't love myself enough, I would just go with the flow and not be assertive and take the actions that I know that I felt maybe I could do because I just didn't think I was worth it enough. At the end of the day, you can
Mhm.
point fingers at anyone else, but nah, I didn't think I was worth it enough. And it was tough to face myself and realize that I had been failing me. You know what I'm saying? I was failing me first and foremost, and even in certain areas, certain moments, to like the part that I just knew was time to take action was looking my children in the eyes and
Mhm.
realizing that I wasn't my best potential self, and I am their example, regardless of what's going on in my life. I am their example, and it's on me to to bear that cross to be what I need to be, so that I can be the example to show them what greatness looks like. And at that point, I knew I was gonna have to fight like hell.
Mhm.
I was gonna have to give everything I got to dig deep and just grow. And it was painful. It was a painful process to start having to write down pros and cons about myself, write down areas and things that I just wasn't confident about. So a good starting point of that was fitness,
Mhm.
where I had always been in fitness for a good portion of my life, right? In some aspect, whether
Right.
boxing or some sort of sport, I was just always into something, and then that's the part of me that I got away from.
Mhm.
Part that gave me joy, uh, the purpose in myself, and I had to refine that, what that looked like, and as I always tell the story about when I got back into jogging and how that went, and just how terrible that felt, how I felt embarrassed. I just felt um, not necessarily because of what anyone else was going to think about me or how what they saw, just what
Right.
I felt inside. It was me,
Mm. Mm.
and it was painful, uh,
Mhm.
but I let that pain help to serve a purpose because I was determined I'm determined to be the best me at all times. And again, my children are a huge factor in that motivation for me, part of my purpose, a part of my legacy. So when you are faced with those sort of adversities, it's imperative that you do create action plans, and you do take the time to reevaluate yourself so you can get to where you need to go, and take those steps. And in truth, another part of that process for me that I don't think we touch base on is the importance of having a strong support system,
Mm. Mm.
because my support system that I was able to be fortunate enough through the grace of God for me, uh, really came in strong through the process of first me starting to do the work, and then attracting the right type of people to be a part of that circle with me.
Mm.
And I don't think words ever be enough to show the gratitude for those people who all play a role. Jay, thank you, brother. And there's so many people I want to say out there. I love you guys so much. You know who you are, and you still are integral parts of my life. For some of you that maybe I don't get to interact with as much nowadays, and others who I talk to on a regular basis, you were part of that process and me taking massive action, because I can't fail me and fail you for what you believe in me, because
Mm.
I know I'm worth it.
Mm.
So it was a process, man. Getting up, creating, formatting the 21-3 method that
Mhm.
we'll be going into detail in the near future on, where I had to rehabilitate myself from
Mm.
scratch because
Yeah.
I didn't know who I was. I had no identity. And that's what I realized. And that was tough. So I look at it, that from a psychological aspect, that, you got to be willing to do that work, and you got to really hold on to your purpose, because purpose for me was to love myself.
Mm.
That's my purpose.
Wow.
My purpose is just that simple.
Mm.
Love me because I'm so damn worth it.
Mm.
And that's the message that I send out as often as I can, because we
Right.
all are. And a lot of these people who are as successful as they are is because they truly believe in themselves. So you don't think they don't love who they are?
Oh, they
They
love
have to,
themselves. Yeah.
because they're not going to let anyone deprive them of their greatness.
Right.
And I am not going to do that anymore in my life,
Mm-hmm.
as long as I draw air. So that was what I needed to do for me. And through that journey, like Jay was with me through the entire process. He saw I
That's
was, again, guys, I was probably pushing like 260 something, close in that realm. And again, I don't like to really focus on the weight aspect. It's
mm,
just like what that looked like for me, in a way where I just wasn't happy.
mm,
um, in life. I felt like I was failing in life because I was failing me. So
mm,
the moment I realized that I had work to do for me, and in doing the work for me and in loving myself was going to manifest, and everyone else is going to benefit around me that do
mm,
love me. They'll see the change, and I'll be a part of that process and giving that energy back. And that's what happened, because it just took off, like in like a train. It just took off,
mm.
and it just became second nature to start running. And like Jay make fun of me all the time when we talk, and I'm like, if I'm talking to him, be like, hey man, what's going on? I'm like, oh, I'm about to knock these 3 miles out real quick.
Yeah. It's just,
I'm
just
about
a
to
little
hit it.
warm up with
I'm
five.
like, Jay, let's do like 2 miles, man. Just a quick little warm up.
Okay. Yeah,
And
just
I'm like,
just casual sprint of 2 miles. Sure. Sure, I'll be there now. I'm on my way.
yeah, I'm like,
Oh.
and I'm like, hey, you know what? Dang, I'm done with this workout. Let me go hit another one. There's
Yeah,
time,
yeah,
guys.
yeah. It's because
There's
one isn't enough. Let me torture
time.
my body some more.
Yeah, sometimes I do three. But you know what? I just love myself so damn
Mhm.
much.
Yeah.
That's what it is, and that's
Yep.
part of my purpose. I'm taking massive action to strengthen my body, focus my mind and spirit, trust in my faith, love myself first because I matter,
Mm.
protect my state of being, speaking into existence, repeat it.
Yep.
All those things are my affirmations.
Mm.
I tell myself daily.
Mm.
Um, and I make sure that my life is falling within my affirmations,
Mm.
where I'm conscious to love myself enough,
Mhm.
right? So for me, I'm taking assertive and massive action to build growth for me,
Mm.
where the body is where it needs to be. That's going to be what it needs to be. But
Right.
if I can't do the work inward and can't love me the right way, oh,
Mm.
I can't do anything. I can't even
Mm.
begin to conquer my other goals that I was mentioning earlier, such as,
Right.
wanting to venture into speaking multiple languages, is to having a confidence to go at this now,
Yep.
because I will, you know what I mean? Or other ventures that I want to do, or that we're into and that we're investing our time
Right.
into, even like right now, where I developed the tools and the skills to be willing to speak in front of people or be confident in that, thanks
Yep.
to my career choices.
Right.
But to be passionate about it, to really love what I'm doing, and to go in a room and stand out,
Mhm.
because I know my greatness. We know our
Mhm.
greatness, and you are great too,
Yep.
because you're here. And
Absolutely.
that's what we want to remind you of, which is why it's important that you find your purpose,
Yep.
so that you could take the massive actions that's required to be great at all times
Yep.
for you, because you're not failing. You're never failing. Not really. You're
Mm.
not ever taking a loss. You grow. You learn. And that's what this process of life is about, and that's what we're doing.
Absolutely.
So that's just part of my story, and I know that's deep, but I'm really passionate about it because
Right.
I believe in what I'm saying, and I
Mm.
think it resonates through those who know me, those who know Jay and how he is.
Right.
Like, we're only sharing our experiences, but we only talk about what we experience and what we know to share with you, because in most cases, it's no different than what you're going through. It's
Yep.
just in a lot of instances, you know, some people are not at a place where they've broken through yet. And
Mhm.
that's what we hope to give you.
That's true.
That extra push to let you know, hey, there's a support system out here for that.
Mhm.
And we're going to continue to bring that. We're going to continue to give you that. So be ready, guys. We're challenging you to take that massive action,
Yep.
even if it's something small, a stepping stone, something that you're not accustomed to. Step outside your comfort zone. None of these folks who've made it made it by just being plain and safe,
None of them.
trial and error.
Like literally none of them.
None of them, none. So what's to stop you, right?
Mhm.
We only got one life. What's
One life.
stopping you from
Yep.
being great for
Yep.
you?
Yep.
What
One
do you say, Jay?
life. I mean, hey, one life. You take no L's. You only learn lessons, right? Let
Yes,
that be. Let that be your L. The only L you're holding are lessons. That's all. You're not taking
absolutely,
losses. You're holding
absolutely,
lessons. You're taking those lessons. You're learning from them, and you keep growing.
absolutely.
That's all
That's
you
it.
do. That's all you're doing.
Yep.
Like I think the one thing in life is that we tend to overlook that sometimes. We tend to overthink all these different things, and we tend to believe that we have so many years left on our lives. All of us do. We take these days for granted sometimes. It's like, man, the week just flew by. All right, now it's time to party. Now it's time to really live the life I love on a Friday, a Saturday, and maybe part of a Sunday. And then Monday through Friday, oh my God, I hate my job. I hate what I'm doing. I hate everything about my life. But let me live it up until the weekend. No, you're losing precious time. That's the one thing you're losing. That's where the L comes in.
Yeah.
Time only moves forward, it does not move backwards. Right? We're always looking forward. Can you imagine if we had eyes on the back of our heads, how sad we would be about the things that we've done in the past and we kept to keep revisiting?
Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
God,
Brutal.
we wouldn't
Brutal.
survive. Eyes are in front of us for us to move forward. Our feet are pointing forward. Our
Absolutely.
hands, they're
Mhm.
forward. They're not like this, y'all. Like, I mean, just think of the makeup of our uniquely created bodies.
Mhm.
Everything is forward.
Yeah.
That's where you should be moving at all times. You move forward. And at the end of
Yeah.
the day, after you've taken that massive action, I guarantee you, if you do decide to just take a look in the mirror, maybe the rear view or the side, you'll be proud to see how far you've come. But the journey never ends. The marathon continues, as a great man you once said. So you have to continue to push, you have to continue to move forward, and you have to continue to remember that you are important, you matter, and your purpose, your unique divine purpose on this planet
Mhm.
is the thing that should drive you.
Absolutely. You matter.
Mm-hmm.
You matter, man.
Matter,
I,
man.
I I don't know because of how big that is to us and how meaningful that it is to me because I spent my whole life not thinking I was enough for
Mm,
anything or anyone. And when it came, when I hit that breakthrough, the awakening to really realize that I matter, more so because of the support I had around me to just let me know my greatness.
right.
Man, it was an emotional moment because I know we all matter. We all do.
Yep.
You do. You're no
Mhm.
different than us. You're no different than me.
Yep.
Um, you matter, and
Yep.
you have to know it for yourself first and foremost. You have to love yourself. So, and in doing so, all of these goals that you had, you will supersede them completely.
Yep.
There's no reason why you can't. Through taking the stepping stones of taking action, accountability, being willing to learn from those moments where we go through trial and error in all areas. That's relationships.
Yep.
That's your career. That's entrepreneur goals. That's with family. That's with friends. That's with anything that is in you that
Mm,
you feel as though you're not where you need to be. This is where that work comes from. You got to know that you're enough first and foremost, and then start creating these affirmations. Start creating these realistic expectations of yourself that you are attainable
mhm.
through stepping stones, and be willing to fail and be okay with that because again you don't lose, you learn.
You learn.
And Lord knows I've took a lot of learning lessons in my life, and you know what, I'm going to keep taking them, and I'm going to
Mhm.
take them gladly
Yep.
because they've all manifested to bring me to the point that I am right now. And where you are right now is where you're supposed to be.
Mhm.
Do something about it if you want something more.
Yep.
Just that simple.
Man. Yo, I love this. I love challenging ourselves. I love the challenge of going through seven different pages full of companies and calling each one that's a challenge. I love you losing so much weight in such a short period of time and consistently keeping it off because you learn to love yourself, you learn
Mhm.
about your purpose. I love that challenge. And I also love this challenge here, guys. I want you to hear out now. Get your ears close to this microphone. Here we go. So, for the next 7 days, from this Sunday to next Sunday,
Uh-huh.
here's what I want you to do. I want you to meet 7 new people. Seven. 7 new people. Now I know we're still under these COVID restrictions, so I'm not telling you to go to a bar or go outside and say, "Hi, person. I am the." You could if you want to. I mean,
Uh,
that's it's a that might
it might
bug
be
people out.
little
But
different.
what I want you to do is really take the time to learn about somebody, meet somebody new, learn about them, learn who they are, learn about what they're interested in, really get to know 7 different people from the next 7 days. Let that be the massive action you take. I guarantee you that once you do that, you will pick up certain little nuggets for yourself. Even if you don't have an issue with speaking to people in person, or you're not nervous or shy about meeting new people, this is an opportunity for you to get to learn different perspectives, to be able to communicate with other people who may not look exactly like you, who may not have the same interests as you do, who may not have the same social beliefs as you do. As a society, I feel as though we're losing out on the love with between each other, the love that we have for each other,
Hmm.
and just the love of human nature. We're all different, guys. We're all unique. We're all uniquely made. We all come from different backgrounds, and it is important to continue to have conversations. It's important to continue to learn about each other, learn about different cultures, learn about how other people grew up. It is important. So for the next 7 days, I want you to make this your mission. Meet 7 people in the next 7 days. That's all. You can go out tomorrow and meet 7 people. That's one day, right? I'm
I
not
mean,
I'm not saying you should,
meet
but
seven strangers, kind of like the
seven
real
different
world,
people.
right? Like
Yes.
throwback.
Yeah, exactly.
Seven strangers come together.
Exactly,
You
right?
know.
There you go, right? Mad real world, so I know. But but for real, meet 7 new people, man.
Mhm.
That's it. I
Yep.
challenge you to meet 7 new people. And next Sunday, what we'll do is we'll ask you guys to DM us. Put it in the comment section under YouTube, wherever you want to message us or communicate with us is fine with us. Let us know the names of those 7 people. We'll tag you in one of those posts and those 7 other people if they happen to have IG. If they don't, we'll just put their names on there or however they want to be identified.
Yeah.
But the point is, we want you to go out there, meet 7 new people that you've never even seen before. It could be at the gym. I frequent the gym. I've seen people in there that I haven't actually met. That could be one place. It could be work. Maybe there's a new employee. Make them feel welcome. Make them know that this is a welcoming place and that you've now made a friend at work. I mean, there's so many different areas that you can do this. I'm excited to see who can actually do it and who will be featured in a post coming up. You guys, we love you, man.
Absolutely.
This has been a great day. This
Yeah.
Sunday's been a great day. Um, Taking massive action is just it's one of those things where it definitely does take a lot out of you because you're pushing constantly to get toward your carefully measured and defined goals, and it's something that you're always moving towards. You're not stopping even when you've surpassed the goals that you have written down or jotted down or done whatever with. You continue moving forward, you continue moving toward many different things. And one of the journeys, I think one of the many journeys that I know you've had in particular, and many other people in our society that are having now, is a journey towards healing. And I think when it comes to healing who you were from the damage that you sustained and whatever you've done or whatever you've been through in your life is important. A lot of people tend to get into something new, whether it's a relationship or a job or whatever it is, without healing from the process, or healing from the damage that they sustained previously. And it is important to understand how it looks to heal, how it feels like when you're healing, and how how do you know that you're fully prepared to take on something new? How do you know that the healing process is complete enough for you to be able to move forward and do something else? Because I got to tell you what, in some cases, depending on how traumatic the event that you went through, it's going to take years, if ever, for you to heal. But it is important that you continue to grow, that you continue to build strength, that you continue to look towards yourself. You love yourself. You know exactly what you deserve. You know exactly what your purpose is. And as you continue to heal day by day, I can promise you that while you may not be 100% healed, it does become a bit easier and a bit better in terms of coping.
Whew. um,
It's going to be a deep one.
yeah, that you know, next week's episode is going to be huge, because that's relatable for everyone. You know, at some point in time, you know, everyone has either done the stepping on unintentionally in some cases,
Yep.
or has been stepped on.
Mm,
Um, and there's a lot to touch base on in that area. And personally, with my experiences and my journey, uh, healing is a huge factor, and it does take work. It takes it's something to be conscious in every day, of every second. It's a recovery, and well, don't want to go too much into it right now, but yeah, it's one of those things where um, you have to be mindful of the work you're putting in,
mm,
and it's really imperative before you even to get into another relationship with someone that you do the work. This is why it's really important about loving you,
yep.
so that you know that you're ready and you can kind of spot when it's time. You just feel it. You know instinctually, once the work has been done enough, that you can move forward, and this person will not be held accountable in any regards for anything to be part of your past. Um, because I could tell you, I could assure you, that's a short shot way to miss out on an opportunity with someone great because you too stuck
Mm,
in the past, and
mm,
that hurts.
wow.
So um, we're gonna get deep. We're gonna
Mhm,
get real deep with this episode that's gonna be coming up.
yep,
No holds bar.
yep.
Uh, Will C's gonna be giving you everything I got in that, like we always do. It's a
Right.
lot to touch on. So just be ready, guys. Be ready to grow, because that's
Yep.
what that's going to be about. Be ready to heal together.
Absolutely.
Um,
Bring some Kleenex with you. I think
yeah, because it may be an emotional one.
you're
Um,
probably gonna need it.
so just let's be ready, guys.
Yep. Absolutely. And again, man, where to find us, dude? It's simple. Look at the guy's hat. Look at his hat. If you looked at his hat this entire session and this is the first podcast you've ever seen with us, you know how to spell that name. It's the most unique name out there, the most unique company that we have here out there. Achromous, Achromous. That's how you can find us anywhere. Type us in on Google. We're right there. We're the first search. We're the first one. First search result you see because we're the unique ones. We're the only ones of our kind.
Yep,
So you can find us on IG. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Facebook with that name that you see right there. Take a screenshot. Just take a screenshot if you need to. Don't forget that name. We're going to be around for a very long time, ladies and gentlemen. Another blessed Sunday with you. We want to thank you again from the bottom of our hearts. This is the ninth episode. Next week will be the 10th. And we have not missed a beat. We told you that we wouldn't. We're
yep,
going to be consistent. We're
bringing it.
here. We're in your ears. We're in your minds. We're in your hearts. And man, I got to tell you what, we love being there. We love it.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, guys. Would you have it any other way at this point? You look forward to us, don't you?
Every single week you do. You
Oh
know you
yeah,
love our
you
voices.
love that. Love the voice. You love that energy we're
Yes.
giving you, right?
Love
Oh
it.
yeah, no bad
Love
juju's,
it.
only goodness here.
Oh, only good. It's
That's what you
Sunday.
get. Oh
It's
yeah,
Sunday. Start your week off the best way that you know
best
how.
way possible.
Yes. It's the
Yes,
Chromus podcast.
no Chroma's way.
Yes.
Oh
Ladies
yeah,
and gentlemen, look, enjoy the weather wherever you are in the world. Enjoy the day wherever you are in the world. I am J.H. Gibbons.
and I am Will C.
Until next time,
Mhm. Peace.
peace.